Belgrade, Serbia. Is it safe to come here? Well, not to bury the lead, the short answer is yes, it absolutely is safe. The longer, more complex answer is sort of. So I'll get into that and the reasons behind it in this video. So, when I first decided to go to Serbia, and I was telling some acquaintances of mine, mainly lawyers, they were asking me where I was going to Serbia, as well as some other places in Eastern Europe, and they were like, why would you do that? I mean, it's dangerous over there. Which, at the time I thought was hilarious, and I think is even more hilarious now that I've been here on the ground. So, the town I come from is next to a metropolitan area that has for years been absolutely safe. I check in on the news occasionally to see what's happening back there now, and they're having a shooting death in the city, you know, I don't know, every 2 days. Somebody's getting killed there. And this is a city with a population of about 250,000, you know. So Belgrade, you know, 1,700,000, something like that people. And comparing that, I feel much safer, both statistically and anecdotally on the ground in Belgrade, Serbia, than I do pretty much anywhere where I come from in the United States. I mean, Americans are they're so focused on what's comfortable for them and what they see at home, that a lot of them are just afraid to leave, and they think the rest of the world is this really nasty, brutal, horrible place, and they live in a paradise. Well, I got news for them. They don't. The U.S. is one of the most dangerous places, if you look at the statistics, to live in the entire world. And a lot of that is due to a gun culture and the fact that we do have the right to bear arms there, although there's countries, I'm told that Serbia has the right to bear arms. And as somebody told me in one of my comments, it was actually second in the world as far as gun ownership or something. I don't know if that's true or not, but that wouldn't surprise me. But other countries just don't go around having the gangbanger mentality. I mean, in the U.S., what we have is a lot of it is crime related, dealing with drugs, organized crime related, and then just crimes of passion. You know, somebody comes in, they find somebody in the wrong room with somebody, and, you know, bang bang, it's over, I guess. I don't know. So as far as actual violent crime goes, you are much more likely in the United States to be harmed than you are here. And that's not just in a major metropolitan city. Like I say, metropolitan area I come from is just a few 100,000 people on there. And they're dropping like flies at the moment. So as far as violent crime goes, I haven't heard anything about that here. I have looked at the statistics. I mean, I'm not seeing reports on the media here or anything about people, any sorts of violent crimes. So very safe as far as that goes. Now, I will give a caveat to that. I mean, this is a capital city with a large population. And so in any sort of big populated city, anywhere in the world, you are going to have crime. Here, though, it's mostly property crimes. Now, there are places in the city, as with any cities, that I would not go to at certain times in the evening, okay? There are certain places that I would not feel comfortable hanging around at night, alone, by myself, or especially if I was, you know, a female traveler. But as far as the downtown areas, in, you know, going down from basically the fort all the way up to the Temple of St. Sava, which my understanding from people I've talked to here is one of the safest places in the city, is that area up there. I've never felt in any sort of physical danger on there, and I would be surprised if anybody ever was. Now, the muggings and stuff happen. Yeah, I have heard that does occur sometimes. Again, anecdotal stuff that I've heard about that, and there are some statistics on it, but it's still far, far lower than what it would be, say, in the United States of America. So, as an American coming here, you should feel perfectly safe as long as you use your basic friggin' God-given common sense on where to go, what times of days you're going to go, and what activities you're going to be doing. Now, as far as property crimes go, and I have actually seen some of this, in the tourist areas where they hang out, especially down in Caledon Park near the fort, that place is like, it is overrun with friggin' pickpockets and purse snatchers. That's just a fact of life. Now, you see that in tourist places wherever you go in the world, but for sure, you could make yourself an easy target there and end up without a wallet, end up with somebody grabbing your purse. I even talked to a lady who works in the tourist industry down there. She does tour guides on boats, for boat cruises, and she said that place is just notorious for pickpockets. Also in the area, I've also seen, I don't know if you would call it property crime, but basically scam stuff down in the main walking area where all the shops are. It's very famous, walking down towards the fort there. I've seen groups of people working in kind of teams there to try to do basic tourist scams and stuff. Now, what I will say is the scams that I have seen here is not nearly as bad as what I would see in, say, Athens, Greece, which is pretty notorious for it. I mean, it's everywhere that tourists go. So it still happens here, but at a much reduced rate. But again, mostly property crimes, stuff like that. It would not be something I worry about here. I felt perfectly safe. I go out in the middle of the night and I get something to eat, and I'm not worried about it walking down the road. Inside the city, when very few people are out, I don't feel unsafe at all. So that's my thoughts on it. And again, before I came, I do check the statistics on it, and there is crime here, certainly, that's reported. A lot of it seemed to be, if my memory serves me, was dealing with corruption. I, as a tourist, really don't see that. I mean, I'm not a local, a local Serbian who has to interact with the population or the authorities and stuff. Maybe they see it. Maybe those are fake reports. I don't know. That's what the statistics online were saying that were being reported. And also, again, property crimes and stuff like that. So I really believe as a tourist, if you've got your sense about you and you're coming here, you've got nothing to worry about. I mean, have fun, enjoy this place. It's far safer than Washington, D.C. I believe it's far safer than London, England. I lived there for a year, and my God, the amount of property crime and crap that goes on there, and people stabbing each other. So your mileage may vary, but I think it's very safe, and I would highly recommend coming here and not having to worry about that, and don't listen to the nonsense that you hear in the West. I mean, people will tell you that they hate Americans here. The people here understand that, I guess we elect our politicians, but they're pretty crappy to begin with, the panel that we have to choose from, and so we really don't have any control over them, and they do stupid stuff that the rest of America doesn't want. We've just dealt with 20 years of crap that nobody in the United States wanted, and we finally got done with that. But, they understand that stupid people get elected to politics, and there's nothing that we can do about it, at least as individuals. And so I've never had anybody here that says they actually hate me because I'm an American. In fact, just the opposite. They might tell me they don't like my country, and that's fine. God knows there's stuff not to like. Stuff to like, stuff not to like. But I don't have a problem with that, and they don't take it out on you as an individual. Very kind, especially once you get to know them. And they're not going to target you because of where you come from. That's just absolute silliness, and it's people out there spreading rumors. And if you go to nearby countries in this region, they're going to tell you how dangerous it is here for you. yada, yada, yada. It's, just ignore that. It's safe. I've got an adult daughter. I would have no problem with her being in Belgrade, taking a trip to Belgrade and going out. She'd be perfectly safe. If she asked me, I'd say, yeah, go, have fun. So anyway, that's my opinion on it. I think you ought to go if you're thinking about it. Enjoy the city and have a good vacation.